outcome, and now maybe it's going to pour USC aspect. And I just, if it were if I was the person who would make that decision, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with something that the general public knows.
Is that what I can tell, this whole concept of auto-narrative may be the plague of all of humans in this country. I can't think of anything that's a bigger public health or issue, and COVID is only making people realize that they're calling it long COVID and trying to fly other names, or what it really is post-viral autoimmunity, meaning that you've got the trophy elements in your body eating away at some of your tissues. And so the endocrinologist, years after Kennedy's birth, described a condition in which autoimmunity or destructive elements from birth started destroying glands. And Kennedy is a big target of his autoimmune glandular disease was his adrenal gland, but he also had his thyroid.
When ESPN started advertising WWE, I really thought that was a mistake. And I understand that they're trying to get like all these athletes be together on one platform, so to speak, but essentially, when I see that, it makes me feel that the NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, all of them, and I know there's a lot of evidence that they're rigged, but it gives more evidence to that you're actually considering something that is unknown, entertainment for entertainment purposes, it's definitely known to be rigged, and then you mix it up with the things that aren't supposed to be rigged. So I really think it's like a slow process, essentially. Like, first you got on ESPN, now it's with the UFC, and I don't know, I just don't like rigged outcomes. I like, surprise me, as, basically a lot of people feel in sports that don't like these rigged outcomes, and for UFC to be allied with that, I'm just sort of, it's to me keeping the brand a little bit.
It's like the role of the adrenal gland in the human body. Adrenal glands, first off, they were, adrenal glands, you have two of them. They're so valuable to the body that the good Lord gives us two of them, one sitting on top of each kidney. And they used to be called suprarenal glands, being on top of the kidney. So just for short, they call them adrenal glands. And in 1855, a pathologist
when it comes to some of these up-and-coming sports that I think might have some potential, I forget what it's called, but like the International Flapping League, Dana White has a some type of investment in that, and then like technical boxing, I mean, it's brutal, and I don't even know if it necessarily is considered legal, that people can really hurt in some of these things, but I think people are trying to have other people push to the limit, and when you start getting into people that get hurt in the face, that's attractive to a huge group of people.
Invaded the adrenal gland, and in the early 1900s in this country, tuberculosis was thought to be the cause of Addison's disease.
I'm going to ask you to hold on to that right there, just because we're coming up on a hard break. And I want to make sure people understand this, because then later on, again, in these weird experiments, I've done years, at the time, he's given animals adrenal gland injections. The strange medical saga of John F. Kennedy next to Coach A.M. This is your comment.
I'm Mark Rahman in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Thousands of workers in the LA school district, 9% of the SEIU Local 99 members voted in favor of the deal. The deal will be brought to the Board of Education April 18th for approval. The Skid Row Housing Trust has had all 29 of its buildings placed into receivership. The buildings are in extreme disrepair with reports of widespread drug use. The city of Los Angeles petitioned for the receivership to help manage and restore the property. The judge appointed the president of the California Receivership Group, Mark Adams, as the receiver yesterday. 3 people died of drug overdoses in an apartment unit at a Skid Row Housing Trust building on Wednesday.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tonight with lows in the 50s, mid-40s in the Antelope Valley. Sunny Easter tomorrow, highs around 80, a bit of breeze, 70s at the beaches in Antelope Valley, mid-80s in the Inland Empire. But the same Monday and Tuesday, then a gradual drop over 2 degrees as the week goes on. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Mark Vaughn.
Definitely. I mean, if you've seen any older boxers and just the sport shape that they are in, it almost, I mean, it makes you not a fan of the sport. I hate to say, or at least I am more a fan of the Olympic way of boxing, where there is some kind of head protection, because, you can love boxers as much as you want now, but in 30 years, they may have a lot of physical issues that they're going to want.
I'm a little cold press. Recently, a new client called me. It started by saying, Miss Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back. And we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need the strongest in Clarksville. Heard it so. For why in 30 years, we have fought in the courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this. Everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit ForThePeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan. And visit ForThePeople.com for an office near you. I've been a small business person my entire adult life, and over the years, several HR issues I got nailed. I could never afford an HR person, but there's an answer, Sandy.com. And with Sandy, you get an HR person starting at just $99 per month. And I thought this was too good to be true. This is real. Sandy helps you deal with your HR problems, like writing HR policies, sexual harassment training, hostile work environment, terminations. That was my problem. People complaining about other employees, all putting you and your business at risk. With Sandy, you get access to your own dedicated HR manager.
And it's like your body gets what you can do with work.
Go to Sandy.com, type in KFI under the radio drop-down when you sign up. Sandy.com, that's KFI under the radio drop-down. I want the credit, please. So Sam, B-E-E, that's Sam, B-E-E, that's Sandy.com. Come celebrate Bill Kelly's legacy in Dodger Stadium on April 18th when the Mets come to town. And be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance to take home a Bill Kelly jersey presented by 7-6. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk. KFI, AM 640. KFI, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com.
Didn't Andrew Luck do something similar? Probably one of the best quarterbacks at the time, and I think he retired kind of. It's really one of those things. As a kid, you don't really have an idea of what the effect of the sport is going to be. And honestly, it's a sad situation where you have people who don't have another out of poverty, and they have this gift, and they're able to get scholarships to Division I schools and potentially make it now. And it's like I have no other choice but to do this and ruin my body because these are prime years of my life and I can do it. It's a sad situation. It's like almost, it's like, I don't want to say it's crazy someone, but it's definitely controlling their future and their future health aspect.
Experimental, possible only because of the family status. He was lucky to survive every phase of his life. Lucky that he survived.
Well, have you seen 7-on-7 football?
And we're talking about his childhood next. And whatever you thought you
exactly, and I think that might be what they may have to do in the future. Just because, frankly, there are groups out there, there are organizations like OSHA that could definitely say that we will not allow this to occur in the United States when you have such a high risk of concussion. Or there are other groups that come out and say that too. But potentially that might be a safer alternative. I don't know how exciting it is in comparison to the NFL, but there may be some safer alternatives out there. And I'm glad they're at least being developed. I know flag football is getting more and more popular as well.
Tax-season can be taxing on your identity because all your personal information is all in one place.
Did you see lingerie football?
Shared and possibly exposed to identity thieves. Tax forms
I think that's going to be very popular as well. It's just not really focused on, but people are so sexualized that when you can have hot babes playing football, it's a great combination.
LifeLock by Norton. LifeLock by Norton helps monitor your info and alert you to potential identity threats. If you do become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it during tax season and beyond. No one can prevent all identity theft and monitor all transactions at all businesses. But you can make sure your identity theft protection starts here. Join LifeLock today, save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com and use promo code George. That's LifeLock.com, use promo code George to save 25% off. LifeLock.com.
Real people, real stories. So I had an appointment with the surgeon, and he was telling me what all he was going to do, and it was just absolutely horrendous.
So when I was a kid, you had like ESPN, but then you had ESPN2, and then like there were even jokes like the Ocho. But they were like, if you watch early ESPN, they would try out new kinds of sports, and they would just film them and see what got good ratings, essentially. And I really feel like they should do that again. There are huge markets out there that if they expanded ESPN from just being, I'm not just saying, ESPN is fine for like football, baseball, all that stuff, but have more ESPN channels to give opportunity for people to see some of these other sports that they create a lot of new interest in.
Carnivore.com. That's TRUMAN.com. TRUMAN can afford to get 15% off your order.
You're absolutely right. It does not. I lived with second floor Q1 in college, and it's amazing. I mean, I went to the national championship for 3 years in a row. It's amazing. But this is, you're at the national championship, and they're like 1,000 people there. But it's, put it on ESPN and really get some people to, generate some interest. NCAA indoors and outdoors, you never see any commercials for that or like any advertising for it. I really feel like, there's a track and field is amazing, and the athletes in it are amazing. That, the only time you ever really hear about it is in the Olympics, and it's like the 100-meter guy, and that's it. I mean, really, those athletes are just so amazing. It's fascinating, and I think that people might want to watch more of it if it was offered on channels. I'm with you. If you want to watch anything, it's on YouTube.
Oh, in Huck, because it's just call it. In Huck. Hey, that's cool. And then my grade about California, UCLA School of Public Health, amongst other things. And so, what a career. I think you bring I really like your writing style on this because it's short, clear. You go through sentences that are well established, active sentences, so you give the reader everything they need to know, but there's not a lot of flourish to this, which is kind of why I'm really glad to be drilling down on it a little bit. As you write almost like it's almost like an abstract, almost like you're writing about it like we're reading John F. Kennedy's chart, like we're standing there like med students at the foot of the bed.
But I originally started out writing about these famous people.
Well, it's kind of, when you were saying, triggered something in my mind. ESPN, at least, I mean, they're the big dogs, but you say Fox Sports, whatever your favorite sports channel is, they don't really get into you doing it. And I feel like in the future, that'll be a big opportunity for people. I mean, Franco, you're an e-gamer, you're professional e-gamer. there's really only that what is it, T4 is like the only major television channel for it, any kind of gaming. But I really feel like that's the future. What do you think about that console?
Most of these famous people who endure these very weird medical issues, like Howard Hughes, for example, these were good people with excellent doctors that had a will to live, and that's all, a lot of that's been overlooked. But frankly, I think every medical student ought to read about John F. Kennedy. Where you learn so much about it, and I like to say, in other words, what the old says, give me the facts, man.
Right. And that's what I like about it. Yeah, and I want to get back to the adrenal gland thing with just a second, but I'll say, yeah, very it's really important. I would add, though, interestingly enough, as I was relating to this as a non-medical person, I was diagnosed with chronic pain, and I had been treated. They gave me a lot of. At one point, I had few them, but I took a certain number of them, but I had four for them that I never used of pain management drugs. And I know that the doctors were well intentioned in getting them to me, and sometimes I particularly needed it for like travel and other things like that. So I'm reading about his back pain and I'm relating it to mine, and I also know that even on the limited runs that I had with some of the pain management drugs, the dealing with the side effects or the after effects of these drugs, that was awful. I hated it. Like my dopamine was just completely destroyed at one point. I couldn't sleep for weeks. I mean, it was just awful because it really gets in your head, and I hated that. And that's why I was related to it. So let's talk about the adrenal gland. So this is a very important part of our system. At what age did he start to suffer problems related to that?
I understand what you're saying, and I'm thinking like, games get old. So like, if you had a channel devoted to sports, that's great. But is that going to be a channel in 10 years? You don't know. Some games continue. You might be able to have like a Grand Theft Auto channel. I think that could be popular because that's a game that for like generations. It's like now decades-long kind of franchise. But other ones might be a flash in the pan as well. So that's why nobody I know really watches it anymore, aside from live events. And so the one thing that they would have going for them are live esports and live different kind of sports. That's where there's any money.
Started to deteriorate probably during infancy. And then it slowly
Yeah, so how does that live out when you're in childhood? There's an infancy to childhood. When your adrenal glands are beginning the process of failure or, deterioration, how does that affect your life?
Well, it keeps clapping. In other words, sick all the time, the intestine doesn't work, you can't gain, he never gained any weight. He stayed extremely thin, right on up, really right into his adult life. And so they never could understand why he couldn't gain any weight. Well, that's because his adrenal glands weren't functioning fully. So he demonstrated what would be partial adrenal insufficiency would be the official technical rubric, if you want to give it that. So I think he had partial adrenal deterioration beginning in infancy, and it accelerated on into his teenage years, and when he got to college.
I was not aware of that. I think there's a lot of potential for it. Really, today's kids, I mean, like, Peter was talking a week ago or so, maybe less than that, but he was saying, like, we went outside and played. I know exactly what he's talking about. And, like, you would just go to kid next door or kid in your neighborhood or find some kids and just figure out, play games and do whatever. And we didn't have all kinds of, like, interactive ways of using electronics to communicate. I mean, like, yeah, people might have some kind of video game, but it wasn't like today where you spend like 20 hours playing it. You went outside and played, and there's just not that much anymore. I don't see it in society as much. So those kids have to be doing something, and I imagine many of them are playing games. I imagine many of them are very good at it. But there's just not been this monetization of television, which is really surprising to me. And I mean, I don't watch television. I can't really tell you what's going on it, aside from the fact that it's losing ratings to the internet. And if they ever want to have it continue, you got to go towards one way or another. Live sports or esports might be a way to do it. But from what you're saying, Tonto, there's just so many avenues for a streamer to go in other directions. That, you know, it's not necessary for them to do that. There's some big like games out there like Match or what used to be NCAA football or like 2K, whatever, NBA 2K. They don't have these tournaments on television, to my knowledge. Is that correct?
He was dead 20 or 30 years before his endocrine problem was understood, and also was understood that he had another complication of medical diagnosis, and he developed something called a arachnoiditis. But these things weren't known at the time. So the doctors really had to treat him by the seat of their pants. They had to do it symptomatically. One must understand that they didn't even really have blood counts until the 1950s. They didn't have a test for cortisol.
You know, another idea is having celebrities play video games. I don't know why that's not a thing. Why you can't have Wiz Khalifa play Kanye West and Madden or 2K and just listen to them. Like, that to me would be very, very interesting. I would watch that.
And so I could give you an argument that they had to be better, had to be awfully astute clinicians in those years, and maybe they were better than us newer people, for all I know, but given what they had to work with. But you have to give them credit. They didn't know what was causing it, but they knew that they did try things, and they did. And they hit upon some things that did work.
Well, what were some of the effective treatments for John F. Kennedy in childhood? So again, we're talking about from 2 up to the teenage years.
We don't know what they gave him when he was very young, other than the usual rub downs and good food and care and cleanliness. We don't really know that they had anything to give him. At that time, doctors would use certain minerals and things to try to kill germs, if you will, but penicillin wasn't invented until 1940, right at the start of World War II. And so you had to be treated during all this time without antibiotics. What they did try to do, though, is that you started to mention this earlier, your more astute physicians would use whole adrenal glands.
I can see that. Another issue is how sensitive it is. And the fact that you can't do a la carte channel choosing. Essentially, like, if you buy cable, you have to buy all these channels, and it's impossible to watch all that stuff at once. Where you could essentially like choose 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever your choice was, and keep your costs lower for your FM budget. I could see television being much more attractive, but it's not. People don't want to pay hundreds of dollars a month for that, so they go to the internet for it, and it's free, and it's and everything that you want. So I think that television is dying because of that, and the internet is definitely huge. I can see as well these sports, especially people do this a little bit, but they start branding themselves like NASCAR or like motorsports. Motorsports out of any sport brand themselves better than anybody. They put advertising everywhere. And I can see that starting to happen more and more in sports, perhaps getting bigger advertising in there, and that means more money for gamers.
Adrenal glands were taken, they were kind of early animal adrenal gland experiments.
Yes. And we say early, I tried to pin this date down and I haven't been able to, but at some point between the time Dr. Addison discovered the disease in 1855 and World War I, the doctors started taking whole adrenal glands, usually from cattle or sheep, and they would dry it out and then administer that to a human, and they got good results.
How did they administer it?
At that time, they take it oral.
I have this idea, like, how do you get mom and pop America to get into these types of sports or whatever, get interested in them if that's what, the mission is. And with television, basically, because it was analog, but now it's digital, there's essentially a cable in your house. You can go to any seat instantaneously. And I think people, at least of a certain generation, don't want to wait for buffering and all the other things that you have to worry about a lot of times on the internet. And until we can bridge that gap, there are going to be two parts of society. There's the internet, people get their information on the internet, and then there's, traditional television like people. But when you can bridge that gap where the internet is instantaneous, then there's really going to be no difference between television and the internet aside from what box you're watch it. That's an exciting time for me. That might be in the next few years.
But as far as how they gave the whole adrenal gland, we're not 100. We think there were different ways. Kind of depended upon how the doctor wanted to do it. So they would. Most of it, at that time, the doctor would obtain these dried glands from some pharmacist, and he probably had to cut them up himself and decide how they were going to give them. But it does appear that may have been John F. Kennedy's failure prior to the time that they did have the first synthetic cortisone that you could put under the skin, and that was in 1937 when he was about 20 years of age.
Okay, and so those adrenal glands go, that would have been, you say likely bovine or sheep? Would we know?
Probably bovine. Okay. Okay, that's the one that is used today primarily. And the cattle were probably far more acceptable, far more cattle. Thanks to John City and the longhorns, you probably had far more adrenal glands around. So bovine or cattle adrenals to this day they disappeared for a while, but they're actually back being used again. And it does appear that I was unable to document exactly what they gave him at Mayo's and how much and what have you, but we know they did use it, and my guess is that saved his life.
Okay. So again, we're talking with Dr. Forrest Bennett, the strange medical saga of John F. Kennedy. So, now let's deal with the factors. Well, first of all, the DOCA, which is that the cortisone thing you talked about. Cortisone is we would more commonly associate that with a kind of mild steroid, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
When people use the term steroid, 95 times out of 100, they're implying that it's the adrenal cortisone. That's what they imply. Steroid is really a chemical name for a chemical structure, and chemists and pharmacists and doctors might use it on something else. But the general public, when they use the term steroid, they normally think in terms of cortisone, corticosteroid or cortisone.
Okay. The reason I ask is I knew several people who were interested in modern contemporary times who were treated as children with steroids, even mild steroids, and it was effective in holding back whatever it was that was attacking their body. But the turnaround for that was that it usually stunted their growth, and that does not appear to be the issue with John F. Kennedy.
No, it looks like they're used it only, not on a daily basis, but just when he was sick. And because you're absolutely right. I mean, every doctor and nurse practitioner and naturopath likes to avoid taking any of the cortisones on a regular basis. Includes prednisone, Medrol, anything. In other words, any good doctor knows that it's a bad day when you've got to put anybody on daily cortisone or on daily steroids. Nobody likes to do that. And has to be done, of course, for serious disease. And it had to be done with John F. Kennedy after he was diagnosed. But you hate to do it. But they used it looked like what his doctors did. They used this whole adrenal gland or DOCA prior to his being diagnosed with that disease, they just used it when he had an acute flare of pain or one of the infections. They didn't use it on a regular basis.
Were they using it to treat back pain?
Yes. Yes, I sure they did.
Starting at what age?
We think that we started periodically in 1937, which was maybe about 20 years of age. There are indications he tried to, it's hard to guess, but they actually started probably to cut his skin with a knife and put some Jadoka tablets under his skin, beginning when he was in college, it looks like. Because when he was in college, that's when his pain started. John F. Kennedy just wasn't going to take his infirmity to heart, and he went out to football, played tennis,
whatever the
sailor,
let's just say television is,
and so he really liked that, but he participated in
television. You picture in picture.
I
don't know if anybody's ever watched like NFL Player Ticket or whatever the red zone version where you only see things that are in the red zone. Because you only decide what's like. But when you're able to watch like 6 games at once and then choose the one that you want and like zoom in on it and then go back to the other one, I feel like that's what's going to give people a new leaf on the type of technology. So in the same way, Tonko, you were saying essentially like you can have people playing whatever. Like Fortnite, I watch people play Fortnite and it's very interesting. But there are points where people die, and it's like, or they have to, like, the loading screen, and I can see, that's really self-commercial and things like that, but essentially, if you're watching 4 screens at once, and you can zoom in on what one you want, and, go back and forth between them, it's much, much more exciting, and, it's all about entertainment, and keep eyes there, but until we have that kind of technology, I see people just doing what they currently do. They're just watching it on YouTube, and that's basically the way people get their how to describe it, but their entertainment. I think maybe as well, if there's some kind of integration with Twitch where you can just automatically edit videos, I think would be an interesting thing too. So that when you're playing Fortnite and win, lose, or draw, or whatever, at the end you can watch the highlights and download them and then post it to your social media. It'll be much easier instead of you taking 5 hours to edit all your shit and then upload it to all your friends or whatever. It takes too long to edit.
And equip the weak young athletes through NIL branding. Support the development and secure their future. Learn more at thisfoundation.org. Bring it forward foundation. Creating opportunity. Portions of the following program will be recorded. Thank you. My students will probably have 20 seconds in there. You know what happens some days when they cut in for breaking news? People come down to the school property. Oh, because there are people that play their game around that. I said the neighbor who goes, I gotta go Oprah's on. John and Ken. I guess you've never said that. I gotta go Oprah's on. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. The people in prison committed the crime, period. And that's all that matters. Their color, their ethnicity doesn't matter. They committed the crime. And gangs are in the business of crime. John and Ken, they don't do anything else but commit crime all day. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. There are 2 kinds of people in life. People who say, I'm going to get this done, and they get it done. Simply because they got up in the morning and do the work that's necessary. And then there's the kind of person, well, we're going to have some problems doing this, and then there's that, and I guess we can try. Now, John and Ken always bet on the guy who says, I can do it. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app. And television features, there's a partial list of things that come out of it. But it's go to aliens. Don't you reach it? The future from KFI.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live on the iHeartRadio app. A big thumbs up on the LAUSD deal. I'm Tammy Verdillo from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Thousands of LAUSD service workers weighed in and approved a thing called a historic labor agreement. Just over 99% of the members of Service Employees International Union Local 99 voted in favor of the deal that met the union's demand for a 30% pay raise, bonus payments, retroactive pay, and fully paid health benefits.
Definitely. And I think that's a good thing. Well, in some ways. I certainly don't want people to lose their jobs and things like that, but manually editing so
The
long,
agreement
you need a
was
whole
reached March
marching sequence to
24th
do it.
following a strike
The
at
fact
both
is that we
schools
are
in the
getting to the
district for
place
3
where
weeks.
AI is able to do
The
this
LAPD
automatically,
continues looking for
and
influence suspects
once
after
it's able
two
to take
separate
long
stabbings on
range
the Metro Red
content
Line.
and
The
create
first
highlight
happened
clips and
Thursday just
compilations
before
for
5
people,
in the
it would be
evening at the
very
Hollywood
exciting
and
because people
Western
no longer have to,
Station.
watch
Tuesday
their
now, suspects
6 hour
ran away from the scene
game
carrying
test.
a
They can
knife.
get it all
The
within
second
3
stabbing
minutes,
was
and people
reported
really
later
like
that
what they're
night near
seeing.
the west
I
side
think
of the
that's really
Sutter Park
exciting.
Station. 12 victims survived. It's not known if the two attacks are related. LA Mayor Karen Bass says the city is taking aggressive action to repair thousands of potholes. Bass and other city officials outlined plans this week to fix the road hazards. The Bureau of Street Services plans to fill about 2,000 potholes by the end of this month. Most of the potholes appeared following the recent storms. Anybody whose car has been damaged by a pothole is encouraged to file a claim on the LA City Clerk's website. An iconic breakfast mascot is having a big birthday bash next week in Palm Springs. Captain Crunch will celebrate his 60th birthday on Saturday, April 16th, with a pool party at the Margaritaville Resort. The party will feature Captain Crunch inspired brunch items, a DJ and live music. To go, you need to be over 21. The free event is being held on the first weekend of the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival in Indio. Captain Crunch was first introduced by the Quaker Oats Company in 1963. Southland weather from KFI, cloudy tonight and mostly sunny later on. Highs today in the low 70s at the beaches, upper 70s in metro LA and Orange County, low 80s in the Inland Empire and the Valley.
I understand.
Right now it's
I want
58
creators to
for
have the
56
time
in
and the
Santa
ability to
Ana.
create. And I feel like
Burbank
so
is
many of them,
59
if they
and
really
Van
want to be
Nuys
good,
at
they have to
58
spend a lot
degrees.
of time on editing
We
or
leave
have an
local
entire
from
team
the
to do it for
KFI
them.
24
Most
hours
people say,
newsroom.
no,
I'm
that's
Sarah
fine, and you
Castillo.
should have people manually edit for you.
Why would a plumber
But
just
that's a
tell
big,
me what it costs to unclog my
big
drain
gap
over
that
the
needs to
phone?
be
Is
bridged.
it that complicated?
And it is. It sounds like it is. But at this point, I don't know of a system. Maybe you do. When you go to YouTube video, let's say $8 YouTube video of some kid playing a game, and put it that link into a website or something, and just do highlight here for what you get as a penny, the best part. Is that available?
Smell good plumbers at Mike Diamond will unclog almost any drain for $99.
Almost.
Yeah, there are a few exceptions. You can read all about them on our website before you call. Just go to thesmellgoodplumber.com.
Wow, you went up front and everything. I just told a guy named Rabbi who wouldn't tell me anything.
No brothers here, ma'am. Just professional plumbers who show up on time, smell good, and unclog drains for $99. Call us. 1-800-446-MIKE. Contact your electric number 29917. Attention Southern California. Temper Solaris is ready to install your solar now and complete your paperwork in time for NEM2. They have teams working around the clock 7 days a week and have processed over 35,000 applications and counting. No one works harder than Temper does with its free decor and honor. Go solar American style. Declare your independence with Temper Solaris, your local and veteran-owned solar contractor to get the job done right. Imagine no money out of pocket, no payments until 2024. Call 877-211-5591. Worried about blackouts? Tesla and Enphase batteries are in stock. Plus, Temper offers new furnace and AC systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. Don't wait. Get your solar system installed by Temper Solaris for 4 net metering changes and rates go up even more. For all offers, call 877-211-5591 or visit TemperSolaris.com. By 4 call 2023. Live from the hidden bedroom, it's another eventful night for us. The curious Ron Steve has been struggling with his feet down. His wife Michelle is trying to raise. Michelle throws an elbow. He's lingering for the couch. He could get inspired. Absolutely, Bruce. Inspired to sleep apnea treatment to give you comfortable, restful sleep with the click of a remote. There's no mask and no home. John. Learn more at InspiredSleep.com. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspiredSleep.com. Do you have coins, jewelry, or precious metals and are looking to sell for top dollar? Bill DeGenova, CEO and owner of Tangible Investments, has become legendary by beating his so-called competitors' offers on these items by as much as 500%. I had a diamond ring that's been an heirloom in my family for many years, so I went to a local jewelry store and they offered me $600. I just wasn't comfortable. I took it down to Tangible Investments, and they offered me over $6,000. That store is absolutely awesome. Stories like these are why Tangible Investments has become America's top dealer in precious metals, jewelry, and collectibles, and why Phil has been featured on CNBC and quoted on the front page of the Wall Street Journal over the past 30 investment has bought billions in collectibles. That's billions with a B. Right now, demand is through the roof. Phil encourages all his clients to shop the competition and then call him last. You'll be amazed at the difference. Guaranteed. Call now for an absolutely free professional, no obligation appraisal. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. Don't you want to Jefferson Airplane classic was Rabbi. Hey, super out of that. It's about drugs, which we're going to get into a little later on. It's
Definitely management.
It's also
small concentrations. You have to get it when you have it.
and happy
I mean, drugs keep that level again, regular report I now to say. All they want to do is take Fortnite. They don't want to edit all their videos down, and especially they just want to go from one game to another game to another game. And like, potential is something like those types of games to give you your either your entire stream or just automatically edit it for you so that you can just always be playing as much as you want. It sounds like really that's not available unless you are pretty technical. Is that correct? But Fortnite doesn't offer a highlight. Do they?
They're not doing so well. And a couple of Cubs games too, which I'm looking forward to catching this summer. So it's a fascinating conversation because the material is so well done. The strange medical saga of John F. Kennedy, the author, Dr. Forrest Tenet, he has a Tenet Foundation. I want you to take a look at. If you go online, you'll see it. It's right there on our page where we list what's coming up tonight. And if you look up the Dr. Forrest Tenet Foundation, you'll see the good work that they're doing. You don't read a lot about him, though, there. And so I'll just tell you real quickly, he's considered one of the nation's foremost experts in pain management. And he is originally from Kansas, but former mayor of West Covina in California, and he's still a successful businessman, doctor, writer, obviously, and consultant. We'll get back to income in just a second as we get into the young adult years. And those times when JFK was given the last rites, the first two times, not the last one, on Coast to Coast AM. Consumer Cellular is the most trusted wireless brand, and they've been providing superior nationwide coverage for more than 25 years. Switch today and save up to half on your wireless bill. They offer unlimited talk and text with flexible data plans starting at just $20 a month. Their award-winning customer service team makes switching easy.
But it does seem like the potential there for these tools to be integrated with AI, and it's just done automatically for you. And then if you've got really great content, you don't have to worry about editing anymore. Just keep creating content, keep playing your game, and you'll be, hopefully one of the well-known creators. When it comes to something like Fortnite, and I know you said like top, like 15 top 100 and 1,000 in the world, is there like a top, is there like a ranking, an official ranking for Fortnite?
Wireless bill, then use promo code NORI. That's consumercellular.com/NORI and use promo code NORI for $25 off. What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett, the best-selling author and star in the new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 1-800-506-2020. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. So don't delay, call right now, 1-800-506-2020. That's 1-800-506-2020, 1-800-506-2020.
I do. I think rankings are very important that they have in public. It's not like you have to log in to the game to actually see the rankings. You can't go to Fortnite.com and see the top 1,000 people you're saying, correct?
So, we were talking about the back pain of John F. Kennedy. I asked my wife just out of curiosity, she's kind of up to date on these sorts of things, and I said, if you had to describe what you know about John F. Kennedy's medical history, what would it be? And she would say, well, he had Addison's disease. He was diagnosed with it later in life. And then she said that he suffered a back injury as a result of his patrol boat, the torpedo boat, PT-109 being rammed by a Japanese ship during World War II. And that's how he ended up with a bad back. And I thought, okay, that's kind of the way that story was told for a long time. But your book indicates none of that's true. And that the real, when you don't even have to go that deep into it to find out that it's kind of a PR version of John F. Kennedy's health problems, which helped him get elected as, a congressman just after the war. But let's talk about it. He was originally rejected by the Army in the first physical, right, because of his back problem. And then he was accepted by the Navy despite the back problems, probably because of strong family pressure.
That's correct.
Okay. But he would have been, even in training, he would have, unless he was being given painkillers, he would have been suffering already from the back problems and the rigors of being, running a boat when he was in the Navy.
It seems that the information system
Yeah,
still kind of confusing because they're mixing things together.
If on the football field after a bad tackle, certainly you would think that was all of what was going on in that kind of training. Now, here's the question a lot of people say, that, the answer to this is clearly, it's just a made-up story, but in what some people consider to be an apocryphal event, that he saved a fellow sailor after the BC-109 was rammed and broke up, that he swam, at just 2 to 5 miles or whatever it was, with a rope in his teeth, pulling the life vest behind him that contained a guy whose life he saved by getting him to a safe.
I mean,
somewhere.
I don't know. I look at it from a sports
knowing what you
perspective. And like, I love college football. I've always loved college football. The AC Top 25 has always been a really big deal. Every single time it comes out, and like knowing who your team is and following them. And frankly, I think people would do the same thing with esports. And if they knew, like, oh, this person's the number 4 sport dual person in the world, according to this week's rankings or whatever, would be really exciting to people. As of now, are those live rankings, or do they cycle through with every tournament or something like that?
It's actually happened. And I think that the character of John F. Kennedy would be compatible with trying to save somebody like this. And I think he, at that time, I think he still had the strength to do this. And then he was in the water, and so that may have also buoyed his joints a little bit. So I have no reason to doubt that this is a true story about his TP-109 incident and saving the gentleman.
And reading your book, reading that chapter, I really believe you. And I believe that because it was swimming, and because people who have back problems often use that as a therapy, if he had to run 2 miles with this guy on his back, I don't think that he would have been physically capable of doing it. But swimming, well, that's kind of the perfect alignment of his ability with the necessity of what was being asked of him at the time.
That's correct. Yes, that's the way you have to interpret it. That's what the records show, and so I think it's to John F. Kennedy's credit. And, they obviously use that for political gain later on, and they and use that as a story. But we've certainly heard worse political reasons to arrest somebody.
Right. So we'll leave that there for the moment, and then let's add something else. Then that he did put off the idea of being examined by a doctor after the TP-109 crash. But when he went back and insisted on getting another crew and another boat, that didn't work.
That is correct. That is correct.
Probably because of his back.
Yeah, no question about it. Both his civilian doctors and his Navy doctors, they agreed on one thing. His back was not, in fact, he was not capable of being in boats or of being on active military duty. I mean, that was clear. And there's no question about that.
Yeah, if one is in a motorboat and riding over even small waves, that's hard on a back, right there. You're bouncing really down, right on your cockpit.
Yeah, there's no question about it. But apparently he kept a plywood board to sleep on in the boat, at least when he could. But you're right. Having the back he had and being out there on the ocean, it's hard to imagine.
I understand. Is there like a Fortnite where they're like once a year it's a big tournament?
We believe he started wearing his corset in college.
I know. That's what I think that's where they make a mistake. There's not one big tournament where you can say that you run Fortnite this year.
Until probably after his first surgery. But he started wearing a corset at least part of the time, probably after his football.
The corset probably went with him into the Navy, or
okay. Yeah.
So then he gets medically discharged, honorably discharged, and he begins to pursue a political future that the family had sort of laid out for him. At what point can you tell, based on where you are, where there seems to be kind of a cover-up, for lack of a better term, of the true, strange, medical saga of John F. Kennedy?
Yeah. Well, one has to remember that they knew he was sick all the time, but neither his doctors nor his family knew why. Now today, if somebody had those illnesses, his doctors would know why he had these things. They would have had them diagnosed, and what have you. So the one thing about that, the cover up by the family was, well, they really didn't know what to tell people he had. So that's, you want to keep that in mind. And secondly, he ran for Congress in 1946 at age 29. And they
Well, I understand that.
kind
I
of
mean,
thought
you
he
were
was kind of over
dedicated.
they just really got sick every once in a while. So I think that
that one
they
tournament,
viewed it as a
what's
personal
it
matter,
known as?
number
What's
one.
the biggest
Most
sport
of people would. The major cover-up, though, didn't really occur until he started running for president. That's where they really had to
Not the beginning.
keep
What's the
things
biggest
under
event
wraps.
known as?
But the big thing that caused the
Okay, excellent. So I'm
cover-up, if you want
surprised,
to call it that,
I mean, whatever,
was after
it's not
he was
10 people in the
diagnosed
world or
with
whatever,
Addison's disease.
Fortnite or
He was diagnosed in London.
I mean, that's not on television.
Not in the United States. He was diagnosed in London by a very
Twitch or something?
prominent physician there. And Robert Kennedy was visiting with
so many kids play
Winston
I really think that has a lot of
opportunity.
opportunities.
But
it's interesting to me that
after that, they really
pick up on
wanted
that.
to keep it
When is that thing?
quiet because there was the erroneous belief that if you had Addison's disease, you had tuberculosis.
Oh, I understand. I just think
once he was diagnosed with
big
Addison's
tournaments
disease
to me is something I
officially,
think that would be
the family really
a good
never
opportunity
wanted to
for it to be
tell
televised.
matters
There's nothing
at
on
all.
television anymore.
Because even doctors in those days believed that he had
Well, it's not right.
Addison's disease,
You
that
filling in on
tuberculosis,
all
that
that
kind of
information.
And so from that point forward,
They see that
I mean,
there are a lot of
it could
people
have
who are
been after he
professional,
died.
and
Family simply
so
wanted
you don't necessarily want
under
to
wraps
get into those higher
and wanted
areas.
to, didn't want to discuss it at all.
Anonymity about it,
They were
and that's
under the
respectable too. You
they
can very
sort of
good at it.
anyway.
So
They were
I
under
think
the
there's definitely
erroneous
that
belief
could be an option for
that
people as well. Not
Addison's
everything
disease was
needs to
caused by
be out
tuberculosis.
there and
When in
concentrated. People
fact,
like to just do it to have fun. That's probably why you do
causing
it.
Addison's disease probably died out before World War II. Right?
But they held on to that. So then, all right. So he runs for Senate. And how much of his day, John F. Kennedy's day, do you think was spent in pain management? And what might he have been treated with at that time just to keep him going, just to be on the campaign trail, to be, able to get in and out of planes and knock on doors?
Well, the free medical treatment you can divide between World War II and 1955 for about a 10-year period, and then after that period, when he was diagnosed in 1946 with Addison's disease, he came back to the United States. He was given a last rites. He was so sick, but they put him on the Doka regularly, and then cortisone was
account. But yeah, I mean, you'd be very popular.
adrenal gland about 1949, and he had a top-flight endocrinologist. The best there was Dr. Shore, from Shore, New York. And again, they were, due to their financial ability, he was the best endocrinologist probably in the country, if not in the world, and knew how to treat it, to immediately take the newly discovered cortisone and get him started on total adrenal gland replacement, as we call it, meaning he was taking enough to make up for total adrenal gland loss. Now that's not true. If he took, and the only thing he didn't take much for pain relief per se, except the cortisone. But after his surgery in 1954 and 1955, then he went into full pain management, a regimen, if you will, by Dr. Janet Truvell. That was really the start of his downhill slope, if you will.
And when we did the surgery in 55 or mid,
right.
Right on that thing. Is that the second time he was given last rites?
Yes. What happened was he had his first back surgery in 1944. There, when he was still active duty Navy, they did back surgery. It didn't work. and they were amazed that it didn't work. They were sure that
I do. I really thought Facebook gaming could have been something. To my knowledge, it was shut down in October. I was using it a little bit to stream Facebook. I mean, it's just whatever Facebook is. But one thing with Twitch, to my knowledge, it's a big player in the game. But now there's something called Omelet. Have you heard of Omelet before?
Subsequent surgery just to take care of the infection and the complications. He would have to go back in and take out the metal plate. And he got sepsis after the surgery. He was almost dying. He was given last rites. But he pulled through. By 1955, they did have antibiotics.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to Twitch. I can tell you it has some features that I really like. I think Twitch might have some of these. Basically, like when you're done with your stream, you can send your viewers to another person's stream. I really wish Twitter's taken around that and everything. Send the room to the next page automatically. It's very similar to Twitch. One thing, though, I didn't really like about Twitch so much, even though I had Twitch Premium, there's also Omelet Premium, they don't archive your games indefinitely. I think it's like 30 days or 90 days or something like that, and then it's done. The way around that is with Omelet, it allows you to stream to different platforms. So, like other ones like YouTube and some of the others do allow for like indefinite storage. And so I have had some fortune with that. So for about a year, I streamed on Omelet, and you would get some pretty good, I would say, so in comparison to Twitch and Omelet, I got a lot more interaction on Omelet, surprisingly. I don't know what it was about the algorithm, but I get regular people in every day, regular watchers. At least with Twitch, you could be definitely alone in an ocean if you're used to it and you don't have any kind of power. When it comes to, if you had to ask me right now, how much is a better platform for just a brand new person? Now, I know Twitch is where it's at, and, definitely has a lot of opportunity in the future. It's still a big player in the game, but in my opinion, if you've never tried out Omelet, it's a nice little platform as well. And it's pretty user friendly, I would say. So basically, if you're just a brand new person, you can go in with very limited knowledge and be able to see almost instantaneously. Not that you can't on Twitch either. They're both, don't have that much of a learning curve, but I did find that the ability to be able to stream on so many different platforms is Omelet. So definitely, I found it to be very beneficial.
Are you suffering from suicide ideation? And I'd be like, no way. I'd be like, no, it's just a loud noise. After about 5 years, just to make your point about the pain, after about 5 years, yeah, there's times when I started to think, I can't, how much longer I could take it. And it really takes a more aggressive treatment to begin to handle it. And so I get that idea about the pain. I understand that. Okay, well then I want to get into this is the important thing. So we're now right up into the presidency. Dr. Janet Travell is there the day that John F. Kennedy takes the oath of office, as well as another doctor. And he's got doctors very much involved in his day-to-day. And I want to talk about the pain management. And then I'll ask Dr. Forrest Pettit to talk about maybe some aspects of his later years in the strange medical saga of John F. Kennedy next on Coast to Coast AM. This is Human Contact.
Yeah, strikers are heading up. I'm Tammy Trujillo, come to KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA County gas prices are getting higher. AAA says the average price of a gallon of self-serve regulars average rate 97 cents less than a year ago. The ports of LA and Long Beach back in operation after a worker shortage shut them down for 2 days last week. The shortage came during contentious labor negotiations between the union representing West Coast dock workers and industry group representing the shippers. The daytime Emmy Awards will stay on PBS. The Hollywood Reporter says the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences agreed to a new 2-year deal with the network. Southland weather from KFI, cloudy tonight and mostly sunny later on. Highs today in the low 70s at the beaches, upper 70s in metro LA and Orange County, low 80s in the Inland Empire and the Valley. Right now, Fullerton at 58, Placentia 56, Burbank 55, and Van Nuys at 56 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
The screen is turned on.
Traffic, we do the crash in the Corona area. Head west on a fair block in the right shoulder. Traffic is backed up to Gary Avenue. Indiana High Hills area, the 91 west on 241, a crash squeeze to the right shoulder. Yankees Xperia on the out for a crash on the 15 north on the Main Street. That's along the right shoulder. KFI on the side. Hope gets you there faster.
Employees, you could be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Do the math on that one. That's real money. So let me suggest getrefunds.com. You answer a few questions, takes under 10 minutes, and you'll see if your business qualifies for this tax refund. There's no charge up front. They don't get paid until your business gets paid. And businesses of all types can qualify, including those at the CCP and nonprofits, even if you've had increases in sales during COVID. They are experts in the Civil Loan Payroll Tax Refund Program, and they've already returned over $3 billion to businesses. In my business, a six-figure refund. So to find out if your business qualifies, go to getrefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button. It only takes a few minutes. Go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com. Bill and Kathleen, owners of American Vision Windows, in business now for over 23 years. Our business vision industry has revolutionized the home improvement industry one customer at a time, changing the lives of our employees for the better. Happy employees means happy customers. It isn't just a snappy slogan.
We really, really value our employees, but deeply care for them. Those are the beautiful lives that are impacting and talking with and connecting with the customer.
They don't just make it a policy to provide white glove service. It happens organically. We've literally given half the company's back to the employees.
I am once again now, 22 years later, very energized about what we sell.
It's this burden of responsibility. Quite simply, we just want to help. For a limited time, American Vision will pay the tax or keep free expert installation. Call 888-226-9908 or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com. Live from the Hills bedroom, it's another eventful night for Exterior Ron Steve has been struggling with his feedback. His wife Michelle is trying to get the parade. Michelle throws an elbow. He's waiting for the count. You should get inspired. Absolutely, Bruce. Inspired with sleep apnea treatment that gives you comfortable, restful sleep with a CRISPR remote. With no mask and no home. Just learn more at InspiredSleep.com.
Inspired is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspiredSleep.com.
Your trades or investments aren't so great right now. So how about investing in assets that not only hold their value, but are just outright fun to own? Have you ever wanted a Rolex and never thought you could afford one? Well, let me suggest Bob's watches. Rolex, Omega, Cartier, Tudor, and a whole lot more. They have them all. Buy, sell, or trade. They have a huge inventory of luxury watches, free overnight shipping on all orders, and a great selection of vintage Rolex watches, too. Bob's Watches is a trusted online store to buy or sell modern and vintage luxury pre-owned watches, and all watches are 100% authentic and independently certified. And now you get $200 off. Google Bob's Watches and my name's Bill Handel. Click the link at the top to get your discount automatically applied to your order. Looking to sell your luxury watch? Get a fast and easy quote online from the watch experts. Google Bob's Watches and Bill Handel. Golden Boy Station, Howard, for the entire power trip weekend. VIP camping at the Safari Day Campground. All thanks to Golden Boy. Tickets are on sale now at howardtrip.live. Howardtrip.live. KFI, AM 640.
Pulling the damage gun, New York. The pain management story of John F. Kennedy is just beginning. That part of his life, the strange medical saga of John F. Kennedy continues. And I am going to put Dr. Forrest Pennant on a couple of questions which, after reading his book, made me be more convinced about at least around JFK. Yes. Coast to Coast AM, this is Ian Hunter.
Tax cheating can be taxing on your identity because all your personal information is all in one place, getting emailed, shared, and possibly exposed to identity thieves. Tax forms can be like one-stop shops for ID thieves, which means it can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. Ignore it. LifeLock by Norton helps monitor your info and alert you to potential identity threats. And if you do become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it during tax season and beyond. No, it can prevent all identity theft and monitor all transactions at all businesses. But you can make sure your identity theft protection starts here. Join LifeLock today. Save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com and use promo code George. That's LifeLock.com. Use promo code George to save 25% off. LifeLock.com.
Fortune was a mess. Always issues looking his cars, was searching what he had, ball spots on his back, VINO, 2 weeks after he started Dynamite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. Dynamite is the trick, and Dynamite is the best thing you can use for your dog. I get my Dynamite from VINO,
Fun and Adventure has returned comics and graphic novels from Marvelous Entertainment, based on the thrilling sci-fi masterpieces by Marvin Sunderland. Acclaimed comic creator Andy Fish and his team are bringing that sense of wonder and thrill in straight-out action adventures like those great old comic book stories you remember in their line of silence. iWagon, Haunted Planet, Space Rangers, codename Atom Bomb, Tales of Singularity, and the kid-oriented Waggett humor. Join them at iWaggett.com. That's iWaggett.com.
So we were just talking about Dr. Janet Trezell. She was an important doctor in the life of JFK. Met her before he was inaugurated as president. She'd been treating him for a couple of years. At what point did JFK begin to take stronger anti-pain meds?
They start in 1955. They just shortly after he's given last rites, he's in terrible pain. He's on crutches. He has expressed to his family that if he has to go on like this, he's just as soon die. And that's the tip-off to those of us who work with these kind of people who know that they mean it. And so he's out of aces. He has nowhere to go. He doesn't know what to do. But his endocrinologist, Dr. Ashton Shore, knew Dr. Duval, and he set up a meeting with himself, Dr. Duval, and JFK. And he examined him right there at that time, talked to him, and he and Dr. Shore huddled and said, "Young man, you're going to the hospital today." And she put him immediately in the hospital. And the first thing she did was bring a rocking chair out the elevator and make him start rocking in a rocking chair. But she also started him on the drug methadone, which I realized causes a shock to just that name with people, and started him on Demerol, started doing blood tests, found out he had pernicious anemia, which is another autoimmune problem, and started in a full-scale pain treatment program with very potent opioids, which he continued until the day he died. But he started to recover, and he started to put his life back together, and was up functioning, and literally within 3 or 4 months was ready to campaign for the president.
So I want to run through some drugs. and then I'd like you to comment on them. So we talked about the cortisone. We talked about some of the other treatments we would have had for the IBS or for the celiac. But does Paradiet contain some low doses of opium as well?
Yes, Paraquat is an opium derivative. Yes.
Okay. And then Remotil?
Remotil also has opioid activity.
Okay. Which in some cases they have linked to making people, if they take too much of it, they go kind of crazy.
Absolutely. You've got to be monitored, and she knew how to do this. In fact, she's sort of the, in her case, the mother of today's end-of-life palliative care.
Right.
And he would be, given the shape he was in, I mean, she assumes, she never put it quite this way in her writing, but she implies, and I gather that this would be the case, that she considers John F. Kennedy either give him palliative care, give him everything we've got, or he's going to die. And that's what she did. And fortunately, he survived and went on to live and become a great president.
Which again is like a fifth miracle. You know, I mean, in every stage in his life, he could have died, statistically should have died, didn't, and then went on to another level above that.
Yeah. In fact, it's a little miraculous to do this, and that's why I call this story a strange medical saga, because for someone to go through this number of near-death experiences and yet go on, and it really is it's not strange, it's almost one of a kind. For example, to be able to, she put him on methadone and put him on Demerol and put him on the opioids. Good ethical pain doctors, despite the controversies you hear about opioids,
Right.
good doctors, including Dr. Devel, don't put anybody on those kind of drugs unless they know it. Life is going to be shortened if we don't. There's been lots of mischaracterization of what those drugs are all about and when they're used. But she recognized that here you got a man that he's just too die if I got to put up with his pain. And in later years, a famous neurosurgeon figured out he had something called arachnoiditis, which is what caused this terrible pain. And we believe, he believed Dr. That discovered this, found an X-ray of JFK's and believed that he was given dye as an X-ray measure back in World War II, and that's what really put him back into such a state of surgery didn't work and nothing worked until he ran into Dr. Travell. So we think he had a rare complication that caused a lot of his back trouble. Because normally people who have bad discs or scoliosis or rheumatoid spondylitis, one of the common back problems are not of the degree that John F. Kennedy had. I mean, he had to be on crutches. He couldn't even walk. I mean, that's very uncommon, and you've got to have a rare condition to get in that kind of a situation.
But here you have a guy who being treated for celiac, for the IBS, depending on how to look at it, being treated for extreme back pain, among a few other things that have occurred to him over the years. And most of these treatments involve some form of an opioid. So when you add it all up together, how do you think that affected his personality? How do you think that affected the way he was able to govern? Was he a plum? Was he just a zero? Or was he, in some cases, what anybody would think of as being slightly funny?
We don't have any indication that he was slightly buzzed, that he was ever dated, ever making bad decisions. And again, I think he never took any significant opioids until Dr. Devel had this other pulling out of his depth. And she was has written about it. I never met Dr. Cabral, although I know Dr. She did train under her, and she was quite a stickler, knew what she was doing, and knew how. A doctor who works with those kind of drugs for end-of-life cases knows how to prescribe them without sedating anybody or and keep them functioning like they're supposed to. And I think he did that very well. There's absolutely no anything in any of his records indicating that he was hungover, slurring his speech, not slang, right? So as a matter of fact, in his case, if he was not on those drugs, he would not have been able to deal with the human crisis or meet Mr. Khrushchev or even be a president, much less campaign